good quarters and bad, though, you came here for a turnaround. So there's been more rough quarters than not. I want to talk to you first about the overall setup. We're at this moment, and I said this last hour, where Intel's highest transparency on your plan seems to be meeting investors' greatest doubts about whether you can actually pull this off. In part, you say that leadership products will lead to leadership pricing, will lead to leadership margins over time. Right now, you're targeting 51 to 53% gross margin. Does that start to change with products like Alder Lake, which, in the leaked benchmarks seem to be pretty competitive?
Yeah, thanks, John, and always great to join you guys on the show. And, what we laid out yesterday was a clear picture of the future of Intel, where this is a pivot point. And with transparency, we chose to be very direct to the market and give them that view of the financial guidelines in terms of capex, free cash flow, and margins. And we're making investments aggressively to build out our capital base. We've underinvested in the past. We have a growing market, and we're committed to leadership. We're also making the investments to build these new business areas. And we're starting to see the seeds of those benefits start to come to sprout. And, the comment on Alder Lake, John, is a great example. We'll be talking more about this next week at our big innovation conference. And the product is looking great, already in production. And we expect that to be one example of how we gain back leadership, gain back market share, have the capacity, and have the best products which give us the best pricing potential in the future.
Part of the trouble here, I think, with the stock, and we heard this on the call last night, is what you're attempting, kind of gutsy and unprecedented, though, arguably technically possible, but you're promising to do multiple things that Intel's never been able to pull off before. You're talking about these process technology leaps over the next 4 years. You're talking about scaling foundry where Intel couldn't do that before. You're talking about rethinking the way you do design, packaging, and outsourcing. How much wiggle room is there for error and for external shocks that you don't anticipate, since all these things are tied together? Is this the sort of thing where anything could sort of derail this plan?
Well, we feel very confident in the plan, or we wouldn't have laid it out. And, as you've known from my prior CEO role at VMware, I'm a beat raise kind of guy. And we've laid out a plan that we think is clear, executable. We're making the investments in it. And, just one example, John, if we were here 8 months ago, right, and we would have said that Intel 10 is healthy, Intel 7 is in production, Intel 4 is looking good, we're ahead of schedule on Intel 3, Intel 20A, and Intel 18A, our next 5 process nodes, that they were all on or ahead of schedule, you wouldn't have believed it. But it's true. We're demonstrating exactly what we're saying that we're going to go do. And just at the process technology, wow, that's a lot of progress in a short period of time. Killer new products like Alder Lake, Sapphire Rapids, our new server product coming in Q1. Next week, a bushel of innovation that we'll be rolling out at our big conference. So yeah, the momentum is building. We've clearly laid out a plan that we believe is executable. Aggressive, of course. But this is a great company with great capacity, and I'm committed to make this plan come true, and we're going to have a string of great successes in our future. We've laid out a clear picture to the street of what to expect over time. And today, never like to see the stock go down, but I feel great because now everybody knows what the plan is, and we're focused to make it happen.